But when people like Kamala Harris send our sons and daughters, our young people, to fight in stupid wars, it is the young generation that carries the burden of that. We're going to stop sending our young people to faraway lands. We are not the policemen of the world. We need to use our young people here at home.
What can I say? There is no promise that they won't break, no line that they won't cross. We are sick and tired of endless war in the Middle East. We are sick and tired of sending our sons and daughters to die. And we are sick and tired of politicians who make promises to deliver, but they never do.
Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely right. Straight hypocrites in that MAGA administration. And in this video, we're going to recap some of the biggest stories that made news headlines. I will have a special guest in just a second. Some of those headlines that we're going to be covering include exactly what the hell is China up to right now while we've got this war going on in Iran. Have y'all noticed how quiet they've been? We've also got, as Raphael Warnock said, stupid wars and the hypocrite of Republicans. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, Tucker Carlson is saying he's under investigation. All that and so much more. And my very, very special guest, you guys know him very well. He'll be here. The Lamont Tyson Politics of Being Black channel starts right now.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
That's right, everybody. There he is. The living legend is back. Larry is in the building. I think this is his second time this year on my channel. What's going on, my brother Larry?
Oh, man. How are you doing, man? This is the first time this year, I think.
Is it really?
Yeah, man. We talked about it for a minute, but our schedules just kept on mixing up. So it's good to be back.
Good to have you back, my brother. Look like you've been hanging out with Santa Claus. My man got that gray on the face now. What's up, brother? What's up? What's up?
Man, you know,
life
life
good on you though. It looks good on you though. No kidding. It looks great on you. You got the Shannon Sharp thing going on now, but everything good your way, bro?
Yeah, man. You know, life gets to life and you know, it will gray you up quickly.
Bruh, don't nobody know that better than me. So, ladies and gentlemen, for all the new people that have come here, I want to continue to thank you for finally jumping on board with the politics. This is my homie, Larry. He was here before I had a political following. So for all you 44,000 that have subscribed in the last 28 days, get to know Larry because you'll see him you'll get to see him often. And for those of you that have been with me from day one, I'm still doing movie and TV reviews. It's just that I moved it over here to this channel, movie and TV breakdowns. You can find me there. If you want to find Larry, there's a link in the video description for him. Let's get right on into it. So Larry, I haven't had a chance to kind of get your opinions on what's been going on in politics. And so today is a day I can kind of hear where you're at with things. And I've got a couple of stories that we're going to go through. Not too many tonight, just a handful. And let's start with Tucker Carlson. Let me put his face on the screen. I'm starting with him, Larry, because him and Marjorie Taylor Greene and some other devious Republicans are being very smart. They're filling a void that the Democrats seem to not want to fill. And it seems like they're jockeying for a position to probably make a presidential run, if not something else. And they have been doing a good job. Now, make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, we're not saying these people are good. We're saying that they are great congressmen because they are saying a lot of the, what's the best way to put this? We love America talk while this war is going on. They're saying a lot of the anti-Israel talk while it seems like every Democrat is bought by AIPAC, every Republican is bought by AIPAC. They're saying those things that are filling the void for Americans that are left and right that want to know what the hell is going on. And so, Larry, would you believe now Tucker Carlson wants us to think that he's a martyr? He is saying the FBI is coming for that ass. Take a look at, I can't make this stuff up. Take a look.
CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interests I care about because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids. So that's not a concern. I've also never taken money from anybody. Don't need it, don't want it, and that's provable. And moreover, it's my job to talk to everybody all the time and try and figure out what's happening.
Larry, if you know nothing is going to happen to you, why would you even raise us think about this? Other than you want street cred for almost being a martyr, you want street cred to say that you are against the Trump administration. You want street cred for those people who feel left out by the administration, for those who didn't have the intelligence to listen to Kamala when she told you what he was going to do. He's trying to do everything he can to put himself up. He even went on as far to say that he might get arrested. And now he's saying he's not going to get arrested. So, Larry, the floor is yours. What do you think about crooked Tucker Carlson? Crooked Carlson.
I mean, the reality of it is this is the second time around with him on this joint. I mean, because he went through this before with Russia, where they were investigating him for being a foreign agent for Russia because he was going over there and taking money from Putin and taking money from RT. And RT is Russia Today, for those who don't know, which is basically was Russian state propaganda TV. And and so he has a nasty history of this. And I think it's one of those things where maybe he gets away with it this time because of who is in power and because of the DOJ as they are. But you can only do this so many times. You only get investigated like this so many times before they finally just put the boot down on you. Because, I mean, as people say, well, there's smoke, there's fire. This is his second go around with this crap. Let it happen again. He's going to be in jail or something terrible is going to happen to him. I wouldn't be surprised if this happens again and all of a sudden he has a mountain bike accident and goes down a cliff or something silly. I mean, it's just, I hate to say it like that, but, you know, it's just the dude does not seem clean. I'm sorry. I know that, you know, I know that people like him. I know he's a popular YouTuber or podcaster, but he just doesn't seem clean. And I don't like this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know America has its problems, but I don't like this stuff where people are going and actively working against the country. I don't care if you're the person in power or not in power. It's just, but I don't trust Tucker Carlson. I just don't trust him. He probably should be investigated. He has a history of this. And it's just, it doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good, you know. And it's tough to know if this is something legitimate or if it's just Trump, you know, sicking the DOJ on him because Carlson said something that he didn't like. Because you just never know nowadays.
The thing with this is he mentioned in his little soliloquy that I have nothing to worry about. I haven't done nothing wrong. Well, Larry, you voted for a president who goes after people in the form of ICE that haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
So what makes you think he won't do the same thing to you? And we've seen Trump, if you don't bow down, Trump is not the type of guy where you can challenge him on anything. If you don't bow down to every dumb shit that come out of his brain, he'll come after you. He's got it in for Marjorie Taylor Greene right now. He's definitely got it in for Tucker because there was something going on behind it. Tucker comes from a wealthy family. I think he's the Swan Corporation, whatever. That's his family. And he does have a preschool full of kids. That's true too. But whenever Trump is met by, there's two groups of people that really poke at Trump. Number one, if you have a vast audience, which Tucker has, he has that. And number two, if you are someone who's powerful in the government, which is Marjorie Taylor Greene. And if you don't bow down to him and you're supposed to be a Republican, he comes for that ass. And make no mistake, people. Tucker Carlson is not a good human being. He is the type of con artist Republican from the old school, the kind that in their mind they want to do dastardly stuff, but they wouldn't say it. He's not full in with the MAGA. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, and there's nothing you can do about it. So he's coming from that angle. Larry, close it up on Tucker Crooked Carlson.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't just vote for him. He convinced lots and lots of people to vote for what we currently have. He campaigned for this dude. He got up there and actively told people this is what the country needs. And you're right. Just like how many people got ice-sicked on him that did nothing wrong. When you have a person like Donald Trump in office, someone who has these tyrannical tendencies, you don't need to do anything wrong. You just don't need to do anything wrong. You could just, once you get on that person's radar, that's it. That's it. And that's one of those things that's so upsetting to me about this whole situation right now, is that because so many people are afraid, they just don't want to pop up on Donald Trump's radar, because to do so means you may be, subject to his ire. And the reality of it is, all these people have to do is simply as a single voice say no. That's it. That's it. You don't have to throw away all of your political ideals. You don't have to throw away your Republican values. You don't have to do all of that. All you have to do is stand together in one voice and simply say no. And they refuse to do it because they're ruled by fear.
Yep. And before we close it out, to Larry's point of a lot of these people could just say no. What makes it even worse, Larry, a lot of these people that could say no, they have fuck you money. They have fuck you money. They have enough money that they could say no and be good. But right. for whatever the reason, they won't do it. So audience, let us know what you think. What do you want to see happen to Tucker Carlson? Please post your comments down below. Me and Larry moving on. And Larry, do you see how many people we have watching us for politics? You see that number?
I can't see it right now. I was trying to get I was trying a new situation here where I was using my iPad instead of my computer. Okay. And I haven't quite figured out where to see like the comments and the number and everything that's showing up there.
All good. Well, just know that, bruh, we get your panties on, brother. We got about 150 watching right now. And it's only been 12 minutes. And I just want to thank you all for coming through, showing us some love. And I do take super chats. I do take super chats if you want to get a comment in, kind of like my boy John Campia, but we will move on to the next subject. But thank you all. I'm so grateful that you guys are here and you're giving us a shot with this political channel. China has been awfully quiet, Larry. Xi Jinping. Haven't heard much from them. It is almost as if they're sitting back, letting the world destroy itself before they jump in and swoop us up, because they play the long game better than most countries do. So before I give you the floor, Larry, let me read you some stats on what China is up to. Audience, the biggest point analysts keep repeating about China, China's strategy is think 10 to 30 years ahead, avoid sudden wars, gain power slowly through economic and diplomacy. That's why some experts say China sees this war as something the U.S. may lose politically, even if it wins militarily. Now, folks, that's something me and Larry said during COVID under Trump. I just think we was on a show with our boy T-Stream, but finally, the simple way to think about this, ladies and gentlemen, one sentence. China is letting U.S. fight while it studies the situation and quietly gains strength. In other words, they're letting all the people who are over here getting their asses beat up in this war, because nobody really wins in a war. They're letting them get beat up, and China's just thinking about how they can pick us off one by one. Floor is yours, Larry.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Xi Jinping, and if you've noticed, he's been over there sort of slowly and methodically and ruthlessly just taking out top leaders in his own country, people that might be a challenge to his own power, so that he can continue to secure his own power there at home. But China, all they have to really do is just, in large part, nothing. Just sit here and wait. Just wait until we continue to make mistakes. We have, and I say this in the most respectful way that I can. But we have an angry, senile old bigot and a drunken frat boy that are running this so-called war. And you just can't win that way. Wars are hard enough to win when you have the smartest, most intelligent people you can possibly find at the helm. Because war is unpredictable. Things happen that you cannot anticipate. You can try to, you can do the best you can, but things will happen. And if you don't have people that can think 5, 10, 15 moves forward, you're not going to do well. And so Xi Jinping and China, all they have to do is sit back and wait. They just have to sit back and wait until, one, we either shoot ourselves in the foot, or we spread ourselves too thin, or we just find ourselves in serious financial trouble. Because, I mean, what are we going to do? We're going to, at some point, go to war with China and then expect China to keep buying our debt to finance a war against them? I mean, the whole idea is, it's even with this trade war. When you think about it, when Trump was acted like somehow he was gonna dictate to China how stuff was gonna be, and we were gonna hurt them by putting China was like, we don't care about that. These tariffs, that stuff, the American people are gonna pay those tariffs. And if they don't want to buy our goods, guess what? They already started shipping stuff to other parts of the world. They don't care. They have goods to sell. They just don't care. And so, I mean, if I'm China, I'm going to sit back and wait till America has fought with Iran, depleted all their weaponry, really put themselves in a situation where we need to rebuild our stockpiles of weapons and ammo. And then I'm just going to politely watch, just go on over to Taiwan and just take it. Yeah. And just say, now what are you going to do? You don't even have the means to defend Taiwan besides all of your tough talk and rhetoric. You don't have the means to do anything about it. And if you do come over here and try and take it, we're going to mollywop you because you're going to be far, far away from home.
So here's the thing. Larry's absolutely right. As Russia has been trying to take over Ukraine and spread further to the west, China has been wanting to get their hands on Japan and Taiwan. That's something that they've been wanting to do. And right now, while these powers that are kind of dictative states are fighting each other, China's sitting back. They're doing some things that America doesn't want to do. If any of you all have electric cars, I encourage you to Google the electric cars that they make in China. They are far better than any of this bull job we got here, including Tesla, and they're cheaper and they go further. They've got one called Xpeng. They've got one called Neo. They're beautiful. They're like 30,000. Yeah,
Baidu, not Baidu, BYD. What is it?
BYD. Yeah. And they cost 30 grand. But if you wanted to get one here, you would have to pay an embargo tax and all this shit. That it
would be twice as much. It's like 100% tariff on the cars. Whatever they are elsewhere, you pay twice that here. And now, then you have no support because there's no dealers here, so you have no support.
Right. Now, and of course, you let these white dudes that rule America tell it, capitalism and free markets are the greatest thing since sliced bread, until it comes to something that can actually disrupt the free market. But anyway, back to China. I said all that to say they are stockpiling all these different ways to energize the company. Their country, excuse me.
Right.
They've got nuclear, they've got solar, they've got wind, they've got all these renewable energy sources that they have invested years into that they know good and damn well America is eventually going to need, because we keep opening up all these AI centers and we can't keep up with it. So because America doesn't want to do the hard work of figuring out ways to get off fossil fuels, which is why we're seeing this shit going on at the Strait of Hormuz, we're getting screwed. So China sits back and watch this. China say, okay, y'all don't want to give us the best chips. And eventually Trump broke down on that and let NVIDIA come back with specific chips. China's like, okay, we know how to get you. We own a good bit of your debt, and we're going to beat y'all up in the energy race with renewable. Come talk to us after y'all done finish getting beat up. Y'all post your comments.
Here's the thing, too, that's so dangerous about cutting people off like that. It's like you think that what you're doing is stopping them or maybe slowing them down. But really what you're doing is you're telling them, forcing them to innovate instead of them becoming reliant on you for whatever it is that they want to do and the stuff they need. They become innovators, and they go out there and they figure out ways. It's like when we had that thing where they said, okay, we're no longer sending Google. You can't have Google and Google services in China. So that meant all these Android phones that were out there could no longer have Google services. You couldn't have Gmail, you couldn't have Google search, you couldn't have all the other stuff that goes along. And so what did they do? They created a whole new operating, because Android is open source, so anyone can take it and use it. They just took and made a whole new operating system based on that Android kernel, or I guess I think Android or Linux kernel. I don't know, but they basically created a whole new mobile operating system, and it's fantastic. People love it. And so, when you go out there, if you go to China, or if you just go online and look at all these Chinese smartphones that are out there, you have phones from Xiaomi, from Oppo, from
Huawei. Is it Huawei?
Huawei.
Yeah, Huawei.
Yeah, there's so many cool phones out there that do so much more than what we have, that are so much better, that have better cameras. They have better foldable phones with no creases. They have phones with better battery life and higher capacity. There's so much stuff coming out of China that we are just simply not allowed to have access to. It's sort of sad and ridiculous, because they want us here in America to believe that we are the best. We are the pinnacle of everything. And it's just not true. It's sort of like, and I hate to make the comparison, because it's really not a fair comparison. It's sort of an extreme one, but it's like with North Korea. They tell you that North Koreans, they tell them, oh, your Xi Jong, or whatever his name, Kim Jong-un, he's the best person ever. He's the smartest, whatever. We have the best of everything here in Korea. Outside, the world is filled with disease and horror and crime, and everything's terrible out there. And they just don't know, because people just don't have access, so they just don't know. And it's the same in some respects. There's a lot of stuff that we just don't know about. If you ask the average person if they think the best electric car in the world is Tesla, I think that the further, if you get the most expensive Tesla with dual engines, you may get 380 something miles. I don't know. They have Chinese cars out there for less than 30 grand that will get you like almost 600 miles of range on a single charge. They have true self-driving cars where you can just get in and just sit back, and that thing will literally just drive. It is absolutely amazing, the technology they have. And the reality of it is, if they let those vehicles into the country, if they let a lot of those phones into the country, and I can only imagine what other tech there is, if they let that stuff into this country, American products could not compete. They would have to innovate, because right now they could not compete.
Yep. And to Larry's point, it just goes back to what I just said. The hypocrisy of the programming America has put into us, into thinking that this form of their capitalism is the best thing because it breeds innovation through competition. Stop it. Stop it. That has always been a lie. And I'll tell you one way that it was a lie back in the day. When they would lock you into a contract, that's the complete opposite of capitalism and creating creating this free market system shit, okay? And now they're doing it to China. So post your comments. Let us know what y'all think. We will keep you abreast on what's going on in the world market. And just a plug for Larry, he does a lot of tech on all his different channels, from Instagram, TikTok to YouTube. If you want to see some of the latest tech and what may have you, some of the stuff going on with cameras and photography, if you want to hire this man for his great skills in photography, if you live in the United States, or hell, if you live in China, you want to pay the rate, he'll come there. But check him out. Check him out in the video description below. And we still got a lot to go on this channel. We still got how basically they lied about the war. JD Vance and Trump, we already knew that. We've got Trump and his horrible decision-making and planning with this war. And then I always like to end our shows on a funny note. We've got my man Godfrey doing Leave Black People Alone. But before we do, ladies and gentlemen, I got to give you a word from my sponsor. Go ahead, Larry.
I just want to say one last thing before we get off this whole thing with the wars and whatnot. Don't forget that Donald Trump and his whole band of people, they're a bunch of pedophiles, and this is all a way to distract you from these Epstein files. They don't want you to see what's in there. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of pages that should have been released, that should have been unredacted and released, that talk about the horrible things that Donald Trump himself was doing to these young girls. And the fact of the matter is that they didn't want those out. What's her name? Pam Bondi didn't release them when they should have been released. And now all of a sudden they're like, let's find a way to distract. They tried so many different things to distract from the Epstein files that just didn't work. They finally said, let's just go ahead and bomb somebody. Let's go ahead and start a conflict with somebody. That is something that cannot be ignored. And they'll have to lay off the Epstein stuff. But let's not forget, Donald Trump is a pedo. And we need to keep that going. We need to keep that out there. People need to be reminded, and these files need to be unredacted and released.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find a playlist that has nothing but the breakdown of the Epstein files, it's right here under my channel. Just go to my playlist. You see a whole playlist right there for the Epstein files, things that haven't been uncovered, things that they're trying to keep out of the media, because make no mistake, right now, the Republicans and MAGA are doing everything they can to take over every piece of media. From, y'all just saw Paramount get their hands on HBO, but hopefully the board is going to say no to that, because they had a meeting with the top people in HBO, and they do not like Oracle's son. They do not like his ad. They do not like David Ellison. And we'll keep you posted on that and what's going on with China. But we have a message from our sponsor, and that sponsor is Kalshi. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are into any kind of predicting, gambling, well, the term they told me to use is not gambling. They told me to say predictions, okay? You can make predictions on just about anything you want to make a prediction on here on Kalshi, from elections, sports, top moving stocks, who's going to win Oscars tonight, by the way. And if I had to put money on it, Oscars going to go Timothée Chalamet. I think best set pieces is going to go to Sinners. And if I had to guess, I think Sinners would take at least 3 Oscars. If you all want to take any action on that good stuff, you can go right here to Kalshi. You can also take predictions on March Madness. You can do it on soccer. Baseball is revving up. This site is way better than DraftKings and anything else out there. If you use my link that's in the video description, ladies and gentlemen, they will give you some money so that you can make your first prediction absolutely free. You can also predict on things like where you think the stock market is going to be. Right now, I can tell you that the S&P is going to keep declining because we're in this stupid ass war. And any other thing you find up here that you feel like you have a strong idea of where it's going to go give Kalshi a try. You'll be thankful you did. There you go. Special thanks to my sponsors, Kalshi. Now let's get back into this action. So Larry, let's go ahead and we'll recount what Raphael Warnock said about these lying-ass MAGA folks and how we done got into this war that they claim they didn't want to get into, folks. You can't make this stuff up. Can't make it up.
But when people like Kamala Harris send our sons and daughters, our young people, to fight in stupid wars, it is the young generation that carries the burden of that. We're going to stop sending our young people to faraway lands. We are not the policemen of the world. We need to use our young people here at home.
What can I say? There is no promise that they won't break, no line that they won't cross. We are sick and tired of endless war in the Middle East. We are sick and tired of sending our sons and daughters to die. And we are sick and tired of politicians who make promises to deliver, but they never do.
Yeah.
The floor is yours, Larry. I didn't say all I need to say about those liars.
I mean, it's just, you know, it's so ridiculous, and I'll just say, I want to say it's sad, but it's like they know what they're getting. They know that what they voted for, the people that voted for him. We went through this once when he was president and went through it again when he was running. We know who he is and what he is. And all these people that are saying they were voting to get rid of all these foreign wars and foreign entanglements, and they wanted people to put America first and all this stuff. I mean, Trump is up there saying that affordability is some made up word by the Democrats. No, it's not. Affordability is what it is when you go to the grocery store and your paycheck is $1,500 and you have 4 kids and you have to spend $300 on groceries. I mean, you still have to make rent and pay your insurance and buy Susie's cleats for soccer and Johnny's jersey for football and everything. I mean, affordability is not fake. But what is everything that this man has done since he's been in office has raised prices just here where we have relatively cheap gas most of the year. Our gas prices just went up like 50 cents in 3 days. I mean, literally, we were down at like 289. It's more than that, I guess, because we were at like 289 a couple days ago. I should have filled up then. By the time I went to go get gas of the day, it was 349. That's crazy. Just like that. And why? Because we went and bombed someone all the way across the world that is absolutely no bother to us. I mean, let's just be real. I know people are gonna say, and I tread lightly here because anytime someone says anything about Israel, people start getting branded as anti-Semites. But the fact of the matter is, if it was not for our support of Israel, the rest of the Middle East would not give 2 licks about us. They wouldn't care. They'd probably be happy to be friends with us. I mean, that's just really what it is.
Larry, on this channel is not a channel where we pull punches about the real deal going on with Israel. I don't pull punches about that shit. I can be a humanitarian and say that I want them to stop fighting with the Palestinians who have nothing to do with anything in an effort to save humanity. When I hear Republicans say this type of stupid shit right here, well, if Hamas attacked Israel, Israel has the right to defend themselves. And you know what I say to Republicans nowadays, Larry? Is that what you say to Iran when Israel and America just attacked them? Are you saying that same shit to them too? Is that what you're saying? Because what would you do? What would you do if Iran said, you know what, how we can really hurt America and Israel? We go bomb them at home. And right now, because the incompetence that we have in the damn White House has lowered our defenses, has lowered all the things that we use to figure out if somebody's about to do terror here in America because his dumbass hates Barack Obama so bad, our defenses are low and down right now. So if Iran came here or Israel and bombed something, I want that same energy y'all was telling Hamas when they attacked Israel. I want that same energy. Israel has a right to defend themselves. I want that same energy. Floor is yours, Larry.
This is a crazy thing is that our country is basically one big giant soft target. I mean, we really are.
Pretty much.
If Iran or any other group, Hezbollah, or somebody just wanted to really strike fear in the hearts of Americans, all they have to do is get, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 committed people and just go and strike and blow up a few bombs. They don't even have to be big bombs. They don't even have to do a lot of damage. Blow up a couple of shopping malls. Head over to whatever fancy mall is in Los Angeles. Head over to another one in New York. Hit one in Chicago. Go to one in DC. One in the Middle East or the Midwest, wherever. Just hit a couple of shopping malls. You don't have to do a lot of damage. Just do enough that people are scared and claim responsibility for them. That's it.
Right.
People will be terrified. People will not go back to the mall. They'll be like, hell no, I'm not going to the mall. And watch how quickly things change. Think about how things changed after 9/11. We didn't even have TSA before 9/11. People don't remember all those TSA agents. They were private security. They had to overnight create TSA, and overnight they had to bring all those people in. Like, you think You think those people that have ICE, those people that are in ICE, you think that all their stuff was expedited? I don't think people remember how expedited TSA was. People were like, all of a sudden, I'm a federal agent. There were people up there that had criminal records, but they had worked at the same job for the last 15 years. The next thing you know, they were like, no, they're cool. And now they're a federal agent. I mean, it was nuts. And it's just like, imagine what happens if all of a sudden people don't feel safe to go to the shopping mall, to go to the grocery store. All you have to do is hit a few soft targets around in the hell, if you got 50 people, and you hit 50 states, one in each state, all at the same time, all on the same day even. I mean, it would be mayhem. People would be horrified. The American people would be absolutely horrified, and they would be demanding change. But I don't want that to happen, because the Trump people would use that as an excuse to put troops on the street and take away our freedoms and everything
Larry,
else.
I believe that's the point. Larry, I believe that's the point. I really do believe that's the point of the administration, because they do not want this midterm to happen. They are doing everything in their power to get rid of the Epstein thought, because when this war hit, the reviews for the Epstein file dropped 95%. They're doing everything they can to have ICE threaten voting places, threaten that they're going to be there. They're trying to shave as much as they can around the edges so that the midterms don't happen, because that might be the time where we start seeing some of these people getting truly held accountable the way they should. And we're going to move to the next subject, folks. Post your comments. Let us know what you think. We're not feeling too good about this. I know you guys aren't. And we're sticking with the war, ladies and gentlemen, because as this war has taken place, the war that shouldn't be, your commander-in-chief has been making bumbling plans about it. I mean, just if he was in the circus trying to juggle, he'd be on the toilet, because he's not getting shit done. And by the way, shout out to all 310 of y'all that have come out to see us tonight on a Sunday night. You could be watching the Oscars. You could be watching them give away those fake gold-plated trophies, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it. So here we go.
I'm really worried. I'm really worried about sinners tonight, man. I hope you have that as a topic so we can talk. But I'm a little worried about that. I feel like they're going to get their heart broke tonight.
Oh, they are. But anyway, folks, here's Trump and the way he's been trying to plan this war out, and it hasn't been going too well.
Breaking news just moments ago, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren spoke after leaving a briefing on the war with Iran. Listen to this.
Here we are, well into the second week, and it is still the case that the Trump administration cannot explain the reasons that we entered this war, the goals we're trying to accomplish, and the methods for doing them. The one part that seems clear is that while there is no money for 15 million Americans who lost their health care, there's $1 billion a day to spend on bombing Iran.
Did they give you a cost estimate of the
No, not in this setting.
They did not give you.
Yeah, what I'm saying comes from publicly reported information.
Are you worried about how long this will drag on?
I'm very worried about how long this will drag on. We are hearing no logical estimates about when it will be over. For the Trump administration to say over and over, there's no money for health care, there's no money for child care, there's no time to pay attention to how families are paying more, but there's $1 billion a day to go to the Middle East and drop bombs on Iran for military purposes that no one can describe and that no one can explain how merely from dropping bombs from the air we will accomplish those ends. No more money.
So, Larry, let me sum this up real quick and I'll give you the floor. Yeah. This is as old as Tupac. They got money for wars but can't feed the poor. And everything else you just said. They always have money to socialize big corporations and the military industrial complex. But you always tell the American people that socialism is bad when that's exactly what the corporations is doing. And last point, Larry, Trump came out and said we would only be in this war a few weeks. That's what he said.
Right.
what he said. When anyone who has a critical thinking brain, which we know most of the people that voted for MAGA don't have enough brain cells to rub together and make a fire, you know that anytime a war starts, there is no such thing as a 2-week. There's really no real timeline you can put on the war. And anytime we go to war at the Middle East, it enriches those who are not only in the military industrial complex, but those who deal with oil. Having said that, Larry, what is the plan? Is the plan just to keep chaos going until the midterms? Is the plan just to keep chaos going so that we avoid the Epstein files? What is the real plan that Trump is not telling us?
Honestly, I'm not sure that he has a real plan, to be honest with you. I think there might be other people out there that have plans. I think, Bibi Netanyahu may have a plan, but I'm not sure Trump has a real plan. And that's a little scary because he's put us out there and we're in this situation that I don't think he knows how to get us out of. And part of that, I think, is because he doesn't want to listen to the people that have created, who have created plans to get us out of situations like this, because those people were from other folks. Like, he doesn't want to care. Like, people during the Obama administration, they had all kinds of military academics that have written paper after paper, have studied this stuff for decades, that said, we know exactly how Iran is going to respond if Israel attacks or if we attack. And they're almost doing it to a T, but they don't want to implement any of these, any of the measures that these papers say we should do, because it was created by the Obama administration. So they want to throw all that stuff out. And that's what they did with COVID. They had a game plan to keep us safe during a pandemic, but he threw all that out because the Obama administration created it. And so we're going to get stuck in this thing and get bogged down in some war because they're not going to know how to get us out. And it's really a shame. Just like Elizabeth Warren said, all the money they're spending here. Think about all the people out there that could benefit from healthcare, from education. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think healthcare is vitally important, and we should have universal healthcare. But I think if we can educate our society, that more people can end up with jobs that will help them have health insurance, and we just don't have that right now because they keep cutting off funds to everything. And it's like, oh, they don't need this. Oh, they don't need that. And it's just, they want to direct funds to this place or to that place. Why not use these funds to help the American people? You campaigned on America first. How about actually put Americans and America first? Because America is nothing but the Americans. We are America. The people are America. The land is just land, because it doesn't matter if some other country took us over and took the land would be theirs. It may become China or Russia or North Korea or Mexico. The land would become something else, but the people are America. And you should if you're going to put America first, that means putting the people first.
Yep. And I don't
know how on one side of your mouth you say there's no money for this and that and this, and then on the other side you're just spending. It's like you don't want to spend money over here to make lives better, but you're willing to spend money over here to take life. And that's why so many people say these folks are evil, because you have the opportunity to improve the lives of your own people, and instead you choose to use that money to hurt and kill and maim other folks.
Well, it's simple, Larry. And I'll take last word on this, and then we'll go to the last subject. All that money that is being diverted to all those other things you mentioned and not the American people is to enrich those folks. Simple as that. There's nothing else you can say. And he has a voting base that is so inept mentally, that is so in a bubble, that they don't understand how to get their way out of it. And what bothers me all the time, this bugs me to no end, when they take that money and use it for the rich people and for the wars and for corporations, and then don't have nothing else left for middle class and poor, you know what he's able to go tell his base? All you got to do is pray to God. And that shit bugs me to no end.
Yeah.
You have the ability to help these people right now. And if anyone has not had the opportunity to read the Big Ugly Bill or understand what's in the Big Ugly Bill, that would make you Earl if you know what's in it. I know what's in it because I own a couple of businesses. I get affected by it in a positive way. But to see the way it hurts middle class and poor is sickening, just sickening. Post your comments, y'all. Let us know what you think. We'll end you guys on something funny. This political game can get rough, and we do at times need some levity to make things feel better. So I got one of my
before we go, can I comment on one thing you said?
Yeah, go for it.
You said earlier you mentioned that Trump was going to use ICE to get people to intimidate people at the polls and to try and get people to not vote. I just want to, every time this comes up, I just have to mention, do not be intimidated. Go to the polls and vote. No matter what they try and tell you. If they try and tell you that you need your birth certificate, you need an ID, you need a passport, you need $100, and you need a date with Holly Berry verified on Instagram. It doesn't matter if they try and tell you that you need to be a space alien with dreadlocks and webbed feet. It doesn't matter what they tell you. Go and vote. And if you don't have what they say you need, cast a provisional ballot and let them sort it out later. But do not just say to yourself, I don't have whatever they say I need, and stay home. Go and vote.
Not only vote, folks, vote blue, and not only vote blue for the candidate who's not taking AIPAC money, folks. That's very important. If you've got that candidate, take the lesser of two evils. Last one. There are a few comedians that I dearly love that are not only funny, but they're conscious to the political issues, because someone from my own channel, when I was about to give up on politics, said, Lamont, you need to damn everybody and what they say to you about getting into politics, because if they don't get into politics, politics will get into them. And you and Larry and T have done a good job of articulating politics in a way that everybody can understand it. And that's what good comedians do. That's why dictators and autocrats go after them first, because they have a way of bringing people together to make you laugh over things that are policy and giving you an angle to look at it from that might can help you understand the way other people are feeling. Well, we got our boy Godfrey, who may be coming on the show one day, I've heard. And he does a series. He does a series called Leave Black People Alone. Yes. Here we go.
On the next episode of Leave Black People Alone. Now this one is a very enjoyable one, because this one was from, it's kind of a distant beat down. There was no physical contact in this one, but the verbal annihilation was fantastic.
You black man, call on.
So there's a white woman on one side, a black woman's perspective, of course, and they were both just cursing each other out. I don't know if it was at a drive-thru or whatever, and they're going at it. She's like,
call him.
You shut the f*** up. And she's like, oh, you look like a god clown.
Ain't nobody did nothing to you. You clown looking you.
Yo, this sister was tearing her up. Then she goes,
call him.
You got a bonnet on your head. First of all, you don't want to with a black woman with a bonnet on her head. They got ammunition. First of all, their hair, they're keeping their hair preserved, all right? Because they have some shit under there brewing. That bonnet means some shit. When you see a woman with a bonnet, just know she ain't gonna give you a physical beatdown or a verbal beatdown. That's all I know. I don't with the bonnet women, all right? Don't with the bonnet women. And she goes in. So,
you look like a f***ing apple. You should have put the shower cap on your face, you fat funky.
Shut your ass up. You look like a f***ing apple. That took me out. And she really did look like it. I don't know if it's Red or Delicious or a Honey Crisp, but she looked like a... Let me tell you something about black folk. Black folk know how to curse people out, man. One thing black people know how to do is, man, the adjective skill that we have. Me growing up in Chicago, man, whether it's Chicago, New York, Philly, all the greats, black folks know how to put you adjectives. They'll look at you and go, I know you ain't talking with your cross-eyed, buck-toothed, musty-smelling, bow-legged, mother pigeon-toed, peanut head, fat neck, back in the hair on the back. that noun sits there waiting on all these adjectives to line up. It's like a whole, you know, those long trains that you got to wait for. And yeah. It's like a whole train of that shit. Almost like conjunction, junction, what's your function? You just adding up shit. Putting up on the faces and clauses. Yo, that shit was amazing. I enjoyed the verbal beatdown. There was nobody hurt, but I'm sure there was some feelings hurt. Woo! Fantastic, because the did look like an apple. Yes, leave black people alone.
But Larry, he missed the other funny part the lady said. The lady also called her a fat ass Punky Brewster. Anybody from the 80s know who Punky Brewster is. I used to watch the show when I was a kid. The lady called her fat ass Punky Brewster.
Oh, dang. No,
all right, Larry,
Punky Brewster.
I don't insult my girl Punky Brewster like that. Larry, what do you think about this series he's doing, and what do you think about that situation? The lady was about to try to call the police. Come on, man. Haven't we learned enough of these Karens?
You know, it's funny. I've seen a few of his videos of the Leave Black People Alone, and most of the ones I've seen is usually somebody getting mollywopped. But you know, there's been a few of them, and it's so interesting because you know it's nice to see that people have cameras now. There's cameras everywhere. People have cell phones, people have, they have smart glasses, they have, cameras all kinds of places. And it's nice to see that people are capturing this experience that black people have, because for so long we have talked about it and complained about it and tried to show people or tell people about it. And they just didn't believe us. So many times, white people, oh, you're just exaggerating. Oh, you probably just misinterpreted. Oh, this, oh, that. And now you see times where, like, you literally, there was one video I watched where this black man was telling this guy, please, I'm begging you, please leave me alone. He was begging this dude. He was begging this white dude, please leave me alone. And that white dude would not leave him alone. And then he touched him. And that black man knocked this dude into the middle of next week. I mean,
wow.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, so many of us, if you're black in America, I'm sure at some point you have experienced something like this, where you're just telling people, just leave me alone. I don't feel like being bothered with you today. And it's most of the time, people will get the hint at some point, and most people don't want things to go violent, but sometimes people touch you and then you have to touch them back. So I mean, most of the time he does this in such a funny way, but really, even though it's funny and we're watching this, a lot of his videos are not funny in themselves because they're violent. A lot of them are just really violent with people getting beat down, and he presents these really harsh truths in a comedic way, which makes them digestible. But the reality of it is, what you're seeing is a lot of black people being forced to be confronted and are confronted with white violence because they're angry that we're there in their spaces, that we exist, that we don't take a step to the side and bow down to their whiteness because we are there as human beings. All of a sudden, they feel like they have the right to just start saying stuff, doing stuff, touching us, and we just want to be left alone. Just leave us the hell alone, He
said it, y'all. Just leave us alone. Post your comments. Let us know what you think. We are getting ready to get out of here. If you're going to watch the Oscars and you're going to take a prediction, make sure you go use my sponsor, Kalshi. It's not too late. We got March Madness coming up, NCAA Championship and baseball. And last but not least, some of you guys know I trade stocks every single day. I've got a system that kind of works very well for me and for those that like high quality stocks. If you want to understand my system, there's a link in the video description so that you can get a one-on-one with me to understand how I'm doing my thing. Larry, what are you going to be doing this week that you will post so people can know what they can expect from you and your outlets?
I am actually working on I have a couple of videos done already, I think, but yeah, well, at least one done. That's coming out tomorrow. I don't even remember what it is, but I have a couple. Lord have mercy. I have a video I'm working on now of a scooter, which is kind of nice. It is a iScooter iX5S, I believe it is. It's one of those it's a really nice scooter. I don't know if you guys can see that there, but it's one of those nice scooters that has like suspension and all kinds of stuff. It's a little expensive, but it is nice. It has like 28 miles an hour top speed. It's like 40 miles of range. So it is I would call this a true commuter scooter. It's one of those scooters that is, it's fast, it has a lot of range, and it's comfortable with the suspension, so that if you are out there and you have to get to work, and maybe you work 10 or 15 miles away, and you don't have a car, and you don't want to sit on a bus for an hour and a half, or take the train, you can hop on your scooter, assuming that the weather's, is in such a way that it's safe. You can hop on your scooter and go to work. And there's enough range in this thing that you can get to work and back and not have to even worry about charging it once you're there. So,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Don't forget to like the video. Please share to help grow my message. Comment, subscribe. And until that next sexy as hell video, I will have Jonathan Bonner running for Congress in Georgia. We want to support that young brother. He'll be up here Wednesday night. We'll see you then.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.